like a lot of the things we grew through as far as in the community, like we didn't understand what was happening at the time. Nobody knew there was like a scene like in the 90s. Like people just showed up. There was events that like were popping up here and there. Battles were coming up. You had a newer generation, and then when you start seeing Radiotron and all that stuff, so all these organized events, all these battles, because it was all house parties, you know?
Oh,
like it was all house parties. It wasn't like organized competitions. It wasn't like going into the 90s. It was like a party that happened to have a contest.
Yo, welcome to CypherBeastT.V. We have an OG from Killafornia, West Coast Rockers. He runs a channel called Break Street Media. We got no other than Friction. On this episode, we're going to go over how they got into breaking, how house parties were the competitions back in the day. Talks about the Olympics, content creating, and more. I'm your host, Tony47, and enjoy this episode. Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to CypherBeastT.V. We got our special guest here today on the podcast, Break Street Media. Friction from West Coast Rockers, Killafornia. How you doing today?
What's up, bro? I'm doing fantastic, dude. How are you doing?
Good, man. Blessing to get you on here. I know you've been in the game since, what, like 93? And, man, definitely OG.
Yeah, well, like back then it's crazy because there wasn't really like, with all these things that are happening now, like a lot of the things we grew through as far as in the community, like we didn't understand what was happening at the time. Like nobody knew there was like a scene like in the 90s. Like people just showed up. Like there was events that like were popping up here and there. Like the battles were coming up. You had a newer generation, and then when you start seeing Radiotron and all that stuff, so all these organized events, all these battles, because it was all house parties. You know?
Oh.
Like, it was all house parties. It wasn't, like, organized competitions. It wasn't, like, 2-on-2 battles, whatever it was. It was literally parties. And, like, going into the 90s, it was, like, a party that happened to have a contest. And so now we're at a point where, like, it's a contest. And it just might happen to be sort of like a party. And so a lot of the newer generation, they think that the jam itself is... like it was is not. Now things are more like a karate competition. You know what I mean? Like for most events, except like sense. Cultural events like IBE, ones that have like Outbreak, ones that like freestyle sessions, stuff like that. They do their best to kind of like make it more of an overall event party. But like if you go to a regular battle, it's literally set up like kind of like a karate contest. You know?
Wow.
But
yeah, because you're on deck, waiting for your name to get called, show up, do your rounds, and then hang out. That's pretty much it.
And like there's so many different things that like the normal person just going there doesn't really understand. You have to go on the other side of like actually hosting events and throwing events, but like there's like no revenue, so there's no money in breaking as far as like the amount of money that comes in. So let's say there's 200 people, right? And everyone pays 10. This is Bboy math, right? So just
right.
Like so, let's say there's 200 people. Everybody pays $10, right? It's 2,000. That's what's called
2,000.
That's $2,000, right? $2,000 complete budget. If you don't have any other lines of business like selling merch, selling merchandise, selling food, selling concessions, selling all these different things. The money coming in doesn't justify the cost to make things a lot better. Better floor, more rooms, more seats, all these different things that are needed. Air conditioning, simple things like, you know, like less expensive water, like low security so you can bring in your backpacks, stuff like that. All these things people don't really realize. So the level of competition, like the way the battles are all set up, as an average person might be like, wow, this is really terrible. Like, you know, where's the seats? Where's the water? Where's all this different stuff, you know? And since it's only mainly one room all the time, that cuts off the energy of the event because every time they need to call somebody, they cut the music off. So if you're just there to dance, like, and just literally just cypher, you don't care about the battles, they keep cutting off the music. That's another problem. But having 2 rooms at an event, that's a higher cost. So, like, there's all these little things that, like, people don't realize until, like, they're like, I don't like the way this is. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, definitely.
Wild. But I've been in from the get-go, bro. I've been from one that, like, the shit's, like, in garages. We were having little battles and, like, you know. Little garages
Yeah,
and shit.
back in my high school days, we used to do like garage battles and stuff with friends. People come over, hey, let's battle and stuff. But yeah, we did nothing for money though, but we just for fun and stuff. But kind of challenge
I
each
think
other.
so where a lot of it starts. This whole like Olympic thing, all this professionalism, like this is all new, bro. Like it's like all this stuff is a work in progress. So this is not the end all be all. Like the fact that it was on the Olympics was like amazing. Like that was just in itself amazing. The aftermath of the kind of disrespect, because I think a lot of people are feeling that like
Right.
the sharing of the whole meme of the ray gun.
Reagan.
Is like if some people feel like they're disrespecting the whole culture, right? With that, right? The majority of the people are just taking it as a joke. Like they're just like, it's funny. It's like a meme. It's like Vanilla Ice or like Breaking, like like the corny shit from Breaking Electric Boogaloo. It's kind of like the same stuff. And then there's a side of people that don't even care. So like, but a lot of people who are really passionate, like they're messaging people like, oh, you don't know what hip hop is, and then you got a whole nother side of people that like are like, oh, this is cultural appropriation, and like they were nowhere anywhere last week, but now all of a sudden they're a social justice warrior talking about, oh, there's not enough there's inclusivity and all this bullshit. It's like, where were you at Summit last week? Where were you at fucking Freestyle Session? Where the fuck are you, like in your hip hop opinion? So I think it's really important. Right now, so if anybody has a strong opinion, you need to the litmus test is what was your opinion last week about breaking? Tell me who the top b-boy was last Wednesday.
Right.
And if they don't fucking know anything, they're trolling. Blowing smoke. No, you just let them. They're literally gonna forget about it next week. The people who are important are the ones who are gonna take this and they're gonna do something. Next week, the following week, until the next Olympics, till we get to where we need to go. Those are the people that are important because they're going to put in the work.
Yeah, man. And like when it first started happening, I saw a bunch of memes that same night, right? That Friday night after the B Girls. Memes are already slowly building up for Ray Gun. I was like, okay, sure, whatever, and it starts getting bigger.
How crazy it was gonna get, bro.
And then got exploded, and then the community of the break scene is like, yo, we got to slow it down because she's getting roasted by the whole world. And so for that to happen, I think it's pretty cool that as a community base that we've been in the scene to kind of put that to the side and let it be at what it is and just wish the best and the best we can for her.
It's like a pop culture meme now, bro. It's like the Hawk tour like last month, 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Like if people know what that is, like that was a whole thing. But that was in America. This is all over the world, dude. Like I'm telling you, this is billions of impressions. And what's interesting is a lot of us were talking because a lot of us, bro, we saw this. As far as the level that breaking was gonna go to way back, like when the first freestyle sessions, you know what I mean? Like we were like, this is crazy, this is special. The world of people coming together, competing and see who's the best. Like this is like the real Street Fighter. This is the real Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? Like this is the world. You can go different parts of the world, Japan. Now China. Now you can go to South America. You can go to New York, Canada, Mexico, and find b-boys to compete against, and like. The level just keeps getting up. So we kind of saw all this humming. The Olympics is kind of just a culmination of like all of this work that's been done of this talent, this art that we basically like, all know and love. And everyone was talking about the Monday after, right? Which was yesterday. Everyone was like, oh, what's up with the Monday after? And what happened is it fucking was a joke. Like it was like literally it was like it was a joke. Like if you look at it, as far as like an art form, it was beautiful. It was well done. Everything was amazing. But the pop culture of it is literally like making fun of like the whole thing, downplaying the whole shit, not talking about the B girls, not showing any, I thought people were gonna trip out on 671.
Oh,
don't even fucking remember 671 right now.
I know, right? Got bronze. She's
Ami,
so good.
who they're talking about her? Like she ain't on like SNL. Like I can tell you right now, SNL is probably gonna have the most hilarious fucking clip.
Oh,
like,
I know.
It's gonna be. There's already one on Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon just did a little skit with it too.
like skit. Like, if it's on that level, like they're working on it. But like, it's kind of an insult. But like, to me personally, it just solidified the fact that we're on our own as far as like b-boys and culture. So I've always been a person that's been like, yo, we need to do it ourselves. We need to build our own businesses. It needs to be in our hands, and it can be done. Just like most industries, it just takes the right mindsets, the right people, building the right teams, things like that. Understanding how to capture the customers, keep them, manage it, and all this stuff is available now. And now we have a huge market. We have a ton of eyeballs, so it's possible to like test and stuff. But even with your best idea, your best strategy, everything you want to do, it still could fail. So it only takes it takes real passionate people to like do everything you need to do, fuck it up, and then keep trying again. Do it again, and then until it actually works. You know what I'm saying? So like, we've been doing this for so long to get to the point. When I say we, I mean like if you look at the like Cross, Asia One, Polo, Zulu Gremlin, Ken Swift, Storm, Renegade. There's so many people that have been just continually working on this. Like, it's not completely organized like FIFA, but we've all been working this to get to this point. So for it to get like kind of like dissed is very interesting. But at the end of the day, like, it's all on us. Like, there's not gonna be a magical company that comes and like saves us. Like, people like, we need to get sponsored. No, motherfuckers. We need to own companies. That's what we need to do. We own companies, then we can sponsor whoever we want. We can go in the direction we want. The money's coming from us. The revenue's coming from us. And like, you have a lot of businesses now that we can do. Supplements. Why don't we sell creatine? Why don't we sell vitamins? Why don't we sell protein powders? That's one. What about the merchandise? All these kids are wearing headspin caps. We need to start having merch. A lot of people don't know Nike sponsored Breaking. If you look at Breaking, look at all the sweatsuits. It's all Nike, and those designs are still around right now. And that was pre-Jordan, so that was when Nike was a small little company. No one knew about them. They sponsored the movie because they knew Breaking was hot at the time. You know what I mean? And so it wasn't until like mid '80s that they got Jordan. So you can start a company and blow it up to 5 million, 10 million. I've had personal friends, built $100 million companies, you know what I'm saying, from their garages. So I've seen it get done from someone who had a vision and a dream, but it takes a lot of work. And the breaking community is kind of like, we have a lot of egos. I think now it's a lot easier for people, but like the egos to try to do something. So like, if you came to one of these old school guys and say, hey, I want to throw a jam, like they might be like, oh, I'm gonna charge you 10 grand. Some crazy shit, and you're just like, what the fuck? So, anyways, it's gonna take a lot of work. But what happened after this Olympic thing is like, I don't know.
Gosh,
like there was one joke. One comedian said like, if you took all the comedian writers and put them in a room and said write the funniest shit, like you still couldn't fucking get as funny as this shit.
Oh,
like fuck.
Yeah. It's man. Yeah, that's such a crazy thing. It's iconic, right? That this would not.
That's a meme, bro. You gotta remember that shit in 20 years, bro.
Yeah.
If you look at that shit in 20 years, you're gonna remember that shit. And so, I was thinking about this before we got on, because it brings up a good point, bro. Art in general, good art. This is the litmus test for art. Good art creates emotion. When it's a good art, you're gonna have hate, love. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have all types of emotion for really good art. Like, that's how you know it's like amazing art. You know what I mean? And what we do is like one of the most advanced human arts in the history of the world. So the fact that it got this much craziness, it makes sense. It might not be like, because like I was saying last week, the few months, I was saying, look, breaking's going to be the highest viewed, highest shared, highest controversial, highest numbers. Everything's going to be the top. And what sucks is, now they erased everything, so you can't even see what the real numbers are. You know what I'm saying? The only people that can see the numbers as far as the views are on the back end, the YouTube numbers and the people in Universal NBC. So that kind of sucks, right? So now they're not even showing us what the numbers are, so we can see, okay, how many people are interested in this, But that's just all. That's all like kind of like suspicious in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like,
Yeah, I wonder
why are you not why are you not showing the numbers? And it just
Yeah.
were we expecting the world to give us the red carpet and be like, oh my god, you guys are amazing? And the answer is no. They just kind of think we're still like side acts and shit like that. And then even the hip hop, like a lot of the artists, like nobody's backing us up. The graffiti writers are doing jokes. MCs, like a lot of the rappers are putting up memes. Like only a few of them are saying like, yo, bro, who's gonna give some props to these B girls and these B boys? You know what I mean? And that like that's quiet. No one really talks about that. That just no one cares. But the fucking girl who did the hoppy kangaroo jump, that's it.
Woo.
You know, so.
Yep. That's a hot
It's
topic
just a
right
joke,
there.
but like
Yeah.
it's Hawk to it 2.0.
Yeah, and other than that highlight moment, there's a whole lot of other moments. I was watching the live stream when it's happening. I think Kid David, I think he did a great job commentating. I don't know if,
Doing a phenomenal job, dude.
Yeah.
I told both of them, like I personally, and I've told pretty much the majority of people that sorry, I'm looking at the phone. The majority of people that have done commentating, I'm like, look, breaking shouldn't have commentating. Should be focusing on the music. If we should definitely get to a point where if you're a viewer looking, whether it's on your phone or your television or whatever device you're on, you can have an option. So you can have one, because sound systems are getting better at people's houses. So basically, if someone has a sick ass system, so imagine in the future that battles become like a Saturday night boxing match, right? So now you're sitting down with all your friends, chilling, ready to watch a battle, and not only are you excited to see the battle, but you're excited to hear the music. So when that beat drops, just at a drop at a rave, if you go to one of these massive raves, the drops when the DJ drops is fucking people going crazy. So that's kind of like how I envision the future with these sound systems, or people just having really good audio equipment at their house where you can like people are anticipating the music, right? So when someone's talking, it kind of kills it. It's kind of like, I gave a good analogy for Mr. Freeze. Like, it's kind of like you're looking at a beautiful piece of art, right? Like, so let's say you're looking at like the Mona Lisa, right? So pretend my hand is my face, right? And I'm looking at the Mona Lisa, right? So this is my hand right there, okay? I'm looking. These are my eyes, right? And then you have someone come, hey, do you know that score is really, really good? You should really check out that thing. So, because he's moving real fast. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, you're trying to appreciate the art, and you have fun get someone talking in your ear, like, shut the fuck up. Trying to watch this.
Crazy.
But anyways, but what's your opinion?
Apple lenses.
What do you think about commentating?
Commentating, I honestly, I think I like it. But if you're, there's different visions and different outputs of different people, right? So that's why there's like, there's a setting. Probably you could turn it off or something. With the commentating, I thought it was great. Especially
everyone's point's valid.
That doesn't understand, like, for example, Ronnie and Kid David commentating. I think they did a great job storytelling some of the lingos we do too. And I was like, oh, dude, what the heck? Like, that's crazy. And actually, during the live stream, my brother, he doesn't break, but he was watching it too. But he watched it somewhere, live stream, some other country. And it was like some other lady talking, and like he's like, this commentator sucks. Like, why is she talking?
There was a bunch of them, bro. Ronnie and them were just America, so like they had commentators for the whole world.
So that's crazy, and I think to have
they
them,
they did a great job.
They did great because definitely all the lingos, storytelling, the movements.
Well, one of the things is kind of like we're in the baby stages. Like I was saying that this year is year 0. Because next year is the first year after the Olympics. That means the whole world's seen it. So next year's year 1, but shit, we're still on fucking year negative after this shit. Like, holy crap.
Oh, right.
But it's like we went back a year. We went back a few decades.
People are saying memes and stuff. Even my wife was saying today. She was like, "Oh, I heard Reagan was the reason that they're not having the Olympics in LA 2028." And I was like, what?
Bro, these narratives that are coming out are like, oh my, like the PhD
so
in breaking. Okay, so like let's think about that. Okay, if you're dissing a person about their skill level, are you even believing that there's a PhD in that country? How is a PhD even available in a country where the
Right.
dancer who's the representative is subpar. Like that doesn't make logical sense. But a lot of things don't make sense. Like they're not meant to make sense. They're meant to entertain.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like that the whole and then now our people are pushing the narrative LA 2028 isn't going to be in, and then they have a picture of Ray Gun. So that visually just
What?
without any context, you're thinking, oh, she's the reason, and we're in a we're in the meme world, you know, like they're gonna read the headline. That's it.
Yeah.
They're gonna read the headline, and that's gonna be the news. So people like that, you can't get mad at them. Like that's the way they are. Like they're not gonna go deep into it. Now, if someone has the knowledge and stuff like that, and they start acting stupid, and they can have a real conversation, then have a real conversation, like a dialogue. Like if you like commentary on a battle, and I don't like a commentary, that doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong, or vice versa. That's just a preference. You know what I mean? So like. You gotta have adult conversations with people. That's why I was saying like a litmus test for somebody with such a strong opinion about whatever is like, where were you last week? Like, what were you doing to contribute to the culture that you're saying is now being whatever? And then if you're not, like, you don't even involve, like, bro, you're gonna be on the next shit next week. Whatever Trump and a Kamala make fun of them next week, that's what you're gonna be on, because you're not really about this, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%. So
what'd your people what'd you get from like people outside? Because everyone that knows you, even Break in general, probably sent you like, did you see this?
Oh, dude,
and you're like after the 30th after the 30th one,
they're like, you know, breaking was in the Olympics, and then it was just
that Ray Gun. Did you hear about Ray Gun?
Yeah, exactly. They bring up Ray Girl and stuff.
It's not kind of bad to be a b-boy like that day. You're like,
I never had like something crazy trash talk. Everything was just just jokes and stuff like that. Yeah. Be like, I'm gonna go kangaroo on you.
And bro, hey, Ray Gun, bro, let me tell you, okay? Anybody listening, when you get that type of publicity, you ride that motherfucker till it's gone, bro. I can guarantee people, like I can almost guarantee you that Ray Gun is probably gonna make a cool $100,000, maybe $250,000, $400,000 this weekend alone from appearance fees. Because when you get that type of notoriety on the internet, every agency in the world is calling you. Just we need to do something with you because you're just in demand. So a club in Dubai, a club in Australia. In Australia, they fucking party. So like the hottest club in Australia is like, you are at our place Saturday night. 50 grand, 5-minute performance. You just need to do the fucking kangaroo, and the deals just start coming in, and you just ride that wave because it's gonna be done. Like, we should actually schedule another podcast when this is complete. Like literally, like maybe in like 3 weeks when no one gives a shit about Ray Gun anymore.
Oh, I know, right?
Or not. I don't want to say, and not this Ray Gun. Ray Gun's cool. I'm just saying like they don't care about the issue anymore.
Oh yeah, like how you said, ride the wave, like. Hey, this nightclub. Yeah, come by. We'll pay you X amount of dollars. And who knows, the line's packed because she was the headline for that weekend or for that day.
That's what I'm saying. That's just like people like novelty shit. Like all these TikTokers, like, I don't know, I'm in California, so LA, so there's just everything like here in Los Angeles, But like a lot of these TikTokers, like, have you seen the people who are just like weird looking? Like they look like circus acts. Like someone's like super skinny, they look like a stick. Someone's like can bulge their eyes out. Like they got some weird trait, but they're famous online because they're different. And people just love that shit. Like they just eat it up. Like whatever the like the Salt Bae, right? Like Salt Bae. DJ Khaled, like people have their moments in pop culture where like the whole world is just about them, and then they go on to the next thing. And this is that right now. It just sucks. Speaking that, like, of that, it was like on the biggest platform.
Something popped in my head. Out in Cali, they actually had people that had a big social media presence because when he's at the party, he gets everyone involved, gets shit faced, and clubs will pay him to be at the I forget his name, man. But no, it's just thinking of that. Like, it's crazy that it is a thing that exists, and
it's like
companies and clubs will pay for that.
Like whoever's the hottest, yeah, for sure. And like for artists in general, like I work with a lot of some of the biggest companies, like Insomniac, who's one of the biggest promotions in the country, the world right now. And a lot of big promoters and people who own clubs and in general, just entertainment. And like the biggest thing for any artist if you want to get booked, like let's say you're a DJ, right? You're a DJ,
okay,
or an artist, you make music. The easiest way, and it's not easy. It's simple but not easy, right? Because it takes a lot of work. The best way to get into the hottest club, the hottest venues, the biggest tours is create a hot song. Like simple as that, because it's very simple. You make the hot song, like the summer banger, right? Everyone's listening to it. It's all over whatever. It's radio, online, streaming, everything. Naturally, everyone wants to book you because everyone wants to hear it live. And then you just run that circuit. Like Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red. Like Sexy Red is just eating it up, bro. Like whatever, I forgot what her song is, but like, Hands on Your Knees, that song.
I was thinking like Steve Aoki, Boneless. It's like
any hot song, and then you just rinse and repeat the next cycle. So like the next cycle of so let's say you have a hot song, you run it around the world, around the nation for a year and a half. You can either work on another track and do it all over again, and do it. And like what happens is most artists get burned out when you start doing world tours. That's why you see most artists, like you don't have any really legacy artists anymore, like Michael Jackson or like a Madonna that can like do like Drake's like one of them, Adele, like the new Weeknd right now. But like a lot of these artists, like they're not like selling huge amounts of tickets, so they don't even do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? You only got like a few mega star artists who do like big
Taylor
tours
Swift
anymore. Like a Taylor Swift, who like how does Taylor Swift win a Grammy every year? Like she always wins. Like she's been winning for like forever. But
right.
Anyway, so what other topics we want to talk about?
Yeah, man. So let's talk about a little more. I mean, so you back in '93? You always been out in California?
Yeah. I've always been in California. Okay. So like when I started, like it was just like first when I saw Breaking and Beat Street. Like the whole reason that the channel's called Break Street was because like I started asking the question like, what movie did you see first, Breaking or Beat Street? And I was like, Break Street sounds cool, right? And then it's like a street, so all the interviews are on the street. So it's like we're like a digital street. Right. So like Break Street is a street on the internet. Like that's like kind of the concept, right? And then I have cars and different stuff. Like some of my interviews I'm in like wearing like i8s and Ferraris and shit like that. So cool cars. So like the visual is cool, right? Because I envision the future of b-boying and all that stuff to be successful. People are gonna be successful people. That's the vision I'm throwing out there. Not broke dancers forever, right? So when I started in '93, there wasn't like really b-boys. There was just a bunch of like people doing party, like it was ravers, rebels, cholos, and the dancers the b-boys were kind of in it. And then when I went to high school, then I met real b-boys. And then we went to B-Boy Summit. And in Fullerton, California, there was a church called the Korean Church. So this is like a famous, which is crazy that it was a Korean church and how crazy the Koreans are. Because like this church, this Korean church is one of the reasons that like the West Coast, Orange County, Easy Rock used to practice there, Asia. So some of the legends at that time used to practice there. And then when we were kids, we would just go there and watch them. So we started like practicing every week. Some of us got into trouble, and we actually got our like when they give you hours, like in a court case, they give you hours to do like community service and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, community service hours. A bunch of us were going to that church because they would give us hours. So like me, my mom would take me there every week to cover my hours. So she was like taking me to the dopest practice every week because technically I had to go, but then I was practicing with the fucking craziest. Like I'm talking about Ronnie Ruin. Stilo, Easy Rock, Zulu Gremlin, with Tails, with Energetic, with like my crewmates. And so at that time, we didn't know what was going on, but what we were actually doing masterminds because there was no footage, there was no cell phones, there was no cameras. Like the camera was like a giant camera, like fucking a camera, like crazy. So
it's like a
like a camera that had a VHS in the camera, like, and it was like crazy amount, maybe like 1,500, which today would be like $5,000, you know. So when we would practice, we would all tell each other what to do. Oh, this looks good. This looks bad. Try this. So it was all trial and error. But what we were doing was we were masterminding. Like, we were creating a mastermind of amazing talent. And so when everyone started practicing at LA Breakers, like Soul Control, Style Elements, all these people we all started practicing together. Everyone was like masterminding, creating all these amazing moves. So that's why you had such a crazy, like when Ronnie Ruin started doing air flares, that's when we all started like giving him ideas, and he was just doing new shit, and his crew was giving him like new ideas. And so he started innovating the air flare before footage, you know? And then into that time, you start having freestyle sessions. So now we're all meeting, practicing, and then you had freestyle sessions. So now we had somewhere to go, and like, all right, everyone's going to be there. Let's battle, right? And then we went to like this event right here, this top, the B-Boy Summit to the top left of me right here. That's when K-Mel came down to battle Flo, and like it was basically the whole East Coast came to battle the West Coast, and that was just a defining moment because it was one of the first 2-on-2 battles ever, like organized battle. And then K-Mel battled Flo, and Wicket battled Wicket, and that was one of the first organized exhibitions. You know what I mean? So that battle sparked off so much, and it kind of brought breaking back, and everyone got more excited. So we're like, oh snap, this is dope. And then year after year, stuff started happening. Freestyle session kept happening. B-Boy Summit started happening. You know, you start having R16s, you start having all these things. So we started seeing this big picture of like breaking around the world, but it still was unorganized. Like, we're still like street motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But all this like all this big culture started popping up all around us, and we just happened to be there. But we weren't thinking like, this is gonna be in the Olympics one day. We're just like dancing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And you think later down the road we would need like something more established, like in each city, almost like an NBA team.
Totally.
But then to make it more sustainable for the type of Olympics, because you look at the Olympics, the USA, basketball team, they got a all-star team, and then almost like IBE, right? They kind of combine everything with all the countries in the world, but in the Olympic stage, so.
Yeah, well, definitely need organization, like people talk about a governing body. The thing is, like, there's a lot of egos. So I think with this worldwide culture, like it's kind of like pro wrestling right now, in a sense that if you kind of, because I look at all the sports. I've looked at like all the sports. I'm talking about MMA, pro wrestling, soccer, basketball, rugby. I look at all of them, the history of them, how long they've been, how long it took them to get to a certain revenue point, where they're at now, what's their market cap, how much is their media rights. I'm looking at everything, see, okay, how can we take this into the breaking realm, right? So we have such a huge amount of people interested in this, and some countries are way ahead as far as like revenue, like China, Japan. Like, if you look at their battles versus American battles, like, it's like not even night and day, but the organizations, like, so China might start an organization that might be really good, right? Because they have, like, did you know in China they had a popping show for $1 million?
Damn, that's the grand
prize? It was like an America's Got Talent in China for $1 million for fucking poppers. Yeah, right. You didn't even know that shit, right? That shit fucking was going on like the last 2-3 years, right? Korea had a big like battle show, like I'm talking about national television. Like, this is like, so like in Korea, like there's B-boys are super famous, but like what I'm trying to get at is there's so many different organizations that might like start doing really, really well, but will they partner up or be able to bring it over to America? Because all these brands have tried to come over to America, and America is just tough because we have a tough market. Like, our kids are real trendy. To create a customer that really fucks with your shit, you know what I mean? In America is difficult. So like whoever does it in America has the opportunity to do it around the world, But like you might have a big organization in China, and like it just becomes like kind of like, did you follow UFC?
UFC? I don't follow.
Do you know about like MMA?
I know of it.
Like,
MMA, UFC, but I don't know what like.
Do you know what Pride? You know what Pride is? Do you know what Pride is? Pride fighting.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
do you know what Pride fighting is from Japan? Okay, so like you know how like Pride was in Japan and it was like popping off, and then UFC started building up, but then UFC became like the monster, and then they bought out everybody. That's kind of like what. And then what happened with wrestling, if you look at wrestling, like I'm talking about the 60s, bro, 50s, 60s, 70s, pro wrestling. Pro wrestling was all little segregated markets. So like Florida had a market and a certain bunch of wrestlers. California had a promoter and a certain amount of wrestlers. Mississippi, it was mainly in the South, you know, but they had ones on the West Coast, East Coast, New York, right? So Vince McMahon brought them all together, right, and created WWE and created WrestleMania. At the time, everyone hated him because they were like, no, like Florida wrestling is Florida wrestling. Mississippi wrestling is Mississippi wrestling. That's not real wrestling. Like with the Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, all that shit, you know, that show shit, the OG wrestling promoters didn't like that. Like they thought it was like not wrestling. Like it's not like the same way kind of B-boys are like, that's not real breaking. Where's the footwork? It's like the same shit, bro, except for wrestling, right? So when Vince McMahon put it all together, that's where you started seeing Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Mr. Perfect, all these characters from the 80s that like blew up wrestling. And then he got to a point where it was so massive, he just bought everyone out. Like they couldn't even compare because it's like the circus. When WWF came to town, they took all the people that love wrestling because it was just a better show. So the smaller promoters died out. So pretty much he like kind of like he might have done it in a shady way. I don't know the real story, but he made it so today when you think of pro wrestling, who do you think of?
Think of
WWE.
WWE. WWF. Right.
WWE, right? Same thing with mixed martial arts. If you look at the highest level of mixed martial arts, what do you think of? UFC. So ultimately I see that there will be some sort of thing like that for breaking. What exactly it'll be, because it might be a hybrid of all of them. It might be half entertainment, half competition, because it is a show. We are kind of creating a show. So, but what the public is willing to like and pay for and continually support, we don't know that yet. Like they might like some total fantasy shit. Like let's say we make like the straight fantasy like WWE with breaking. It's battles instead of actual people wrestling, and it's just storylines and fuck you, I'm gonna smoke that motherfucker. Oh no, what? You would talk to me like that? No, I'm a, like create characters. Like oh no, I'm the best. Like what we create that shit. That's possible. Maybe the market might like that, or do they want to keep it like? You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what's gonna work.
Build a gimmick to entertain them, to have a show for them,
right? Where people will come. Like, have you been to a WWE show? Have you Have you been to a WWE show?
I like it. I love wrestling. Yeah.
Amazing, right? It's like even if you don't like wrestling, you're like, dude, this is fucking awesome.
You don't jump off the top
like,
rope.
Shit, it's fucking great.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, and like everything they add, the light production, because I study it, bro. Like if you look at WrestleMania 1, or you look at anything, you look at UFC 1, look at Super Bowl 1, look at NBA Final 1, look at the World Series. The level they're at now, they didn't start there, and it's the same shit in breaking. Like where we're at is not where we're gonna end, but like this Olympic thing is a whole like the boombox fucking arena. That was a dream. Like BC1 was a dream for most of us. You know, the first, or like Lords of the Floor. That was like a dream. Like what the fuck? The bleachers and this, and that,
right.
You know. And then so Olympics. So now seeing is believing. So I think a lot of this new generation, I think it's gonna be called the Olympic generation. I would imagine this Olympic generation is gonna be the dopest generation for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I always thought like the B-boys are currently shows, but you got to pay to get in. But then the revenue will come through the general audience, right? You want more eyes coming in, more other people, not just the breakers or the competitors, but the general audience. That's how I kind of create a show versus like
there's different
like Lord of the Floors. It was a show, Yeah,
and Red Bull, like, so people understand. Look, like Red Bull, I love Red Bull's great, a great company. I know that a lot of people that work there, like the main people that work on the braking side, and they're great people. They're really passionate. Red Bull is an energy drink company and a marketing company, so like they're gonna do everything to market their brand and market their drink. So like when you look at a Red Bull product and you're like, oh, why is this person winning? It's like that's just their direction. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just their direction, you know. So for other organizations, like if you're looking at Red Bull to like make the braking league, Red Bull doesn't do that. Red Bull sells energy drinks and they make their own events, and they're just basically selling experiences for you to go to the store. So literally this is drinking marketing, right? They create experiences that you like so that when you go to the store and you have a decision, do I want drink A or drink B? They're hoping that experience makes you go with their drink. So it's the same reason you'll see Pepsi at every stadium or Coke at every stadium, because when you go to the Super Bowl or a sports game, that they want, since you saw Pepsi fucking everywhere and the guy scored his fucking winning point and you saw a big giant Pepsi logo, they're hoping when you go to the store you make that decision to buy that drink. And that's marketing, as simple as it can be, right? So Red Bull is creating experiences for you to do that, but they're not a braking company. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So they're not selling braking. A lot of people get it twisted. They're like, Red Bull should do this, Red Bull should do that. Red Bull is going to do what they're going to do. Just like Monster, like there's a battle this weekend in LA and Monster sponsoring it. So
I think that's kind of
cool. And I've seen all these companies come in. It's LA Breakers, yeah.
Okay.
It's LA Breakers Rhine Fest. But to get to your point, like it'd be cool to have a governing body. It's just and it's possible. It's just going to take time. And we have a lot of, like, I think now I'm seeing a lot of the OGs realize now, like, so how can I explain this? Like, okay, like 15 years ago, like some of the OGs could still break, right?
Okay.
So like their weight as far as skills was kind of still there. So they kind of had like I can kind of smoke you and I'm old school. And they kind of like will like, you know, not talk down on the scene, but kind of like feel like they just entitled. Like my opinion matters, you know? A lot of them are older now where they're getting, you know, they're not fucking so healthy as, you know, they're not as agile as they were before. So like they kind of, now they're realizing like, hey, it's better to like, you know, I'll get more with honey than I will with vinegar. So they're like being a lot more want to work with more people. The ego's kind of lower because like now it's like, well, motherfucker, I'll smoke you, bro. Like on the braking shit, I don't give a fuck how old you are, you know? Like, so I think now we're having more people willing to work with each other. I think that's important. Yeah, like us doing podcasts, like just supporting another person's shit, you know?
Yeah, no, that's great. You know, collaborations, podcasts, you got your sector, and then, you know, which brings up to like content creating. You've been doing a lot of live, Instagram Live, YouTube Lives. How's it? Is it similar to kind of like what we're doing right now through a podcast exchange?
Yeah, well, like so basically, it started off where I knew we need to have a streaming. There needs to be streaming as far as our consistent content weekly that comes out. That's not just clips, like not just breaking, like a little bit more like substance, like what's going on, who's doing what. And so my idea with like the battle report was, I wanted to like, you know, take like the battles of the month and then talk about them and just like talk about the highlights and stuff like that, you know. But what happened was it got to a point where I was like, dude, so, okay, let's say there's 50 battles, right? And I'm not 50 battles, 50 events. And each event had 50 final battles. And then on top of that, you had multiple of brackets under that to look at all that footage and then take the top pieces, edit it, cut it, put it in a thing, talk over it, was just like just a stupid amount of work. Like it was like, this is like, I need a team to do this. I can't do this on my own with all my other like normal life responsibilities, you know? So I started looking into streaming and like I started studying all the streamers, you know, like the Kai Sentence, the Aiden Ross, all these different people, you know, I started studying them. And what I started finding out was a lot of their stories very similar. So if you guys want to stream, I'll tell you what most of them all say. They were streaming for 8 hours a day for 3-4 years before they got any traction on their streams. So think about what I just said, guys. They were streaming for 8 hours a day for like 3 to 4 years with no money, not making anything, right? So it just kind of that's just to go to show you that persistence matters. So most people can't do that. So anyways, when I learned that, I was like, I'm not gonna fucking stream for 8 hours a goddamn day. Like, that's for sure no. But it made me realize, like, hey, you got to put in the hours, right? You kind of got to put in the work, right? So when I started looking at all the streaming, when I started finding out all this software that you can like stream live and you can start streaming to 5, 6 different platforms at the same time, I was like, wait, if I could just watch the battle and stream it and then kind of do the same thing, except now I'm not editing it, I'm just watching it. And I can invite you, I can invite somebody else, I can have guests on, we can talk, we can have a dialogue. And then I set up the keywords where if you go ahead and Google it right now, put on Bboy Battle Report and go to videos, bro. I'm the first 2 pages. Organic.
Oh, really?
So if you put in Bboy Battle in Google, if you put in Bboy Battle Report, go ahead and go to videos. Watch. Go to it right now. So that's called building, and I knew that out. I started building that.
Bboy Battle Report?
Bboy Battle Report. So go to videos.
I have 8 and 8 dance. That's not you, is it?
Yeah, it's not. So look at the one right under that. They're paying for that.
Yeah, there you go, on the YouTube. Break Street.
Yep,
Battle Report live stream. You're on that.
Break Street. So every stream, whether it had 1 person, 5 person, it doesn't matter because it's adding to the Google search, the spiders of Google.
Mm-hmm. You're
looking across the internet. So when you put in Bboy Battle, my channel is going to be up there, you know? So I was thinking, okay, with all this traffic from the Olympics, it'd be crazy, but it's all right. But it's like, it's a marathon. What we're doing is like a marathon. I'm not looking for like a quick hit. I'm not looking for that viral moment for the channel to blow up. I'm looking for long term to create a media company out of this that covers dancing, just like ESPN, just like Barstool. So that's how I got into streaming. You know what I mean? And it's been fun. It's cool. You know, I get to talk to people, chat with people. It's cool. And now with CapCut, you can cut up the shorts, so you can turn like a podcast into a bunch of shorts with AI software.
Right.
So that's
I
fucking
actually
cool. Like,
messed with that.
What would take like days?
Oh, it's hard to. I don't know if you played with it. I tried that stuff. It doesn't give you the right feelings for like as because you break, I break, and when I go through it, I go through it manually. So like through this, like for example, this podcast is done. Right. It's an hour. I'll go through the hour and get the nuggets. I tried using other AI software to shorten the time, but all the clips they give me that creates it, because they're supposed to be like viral ones or like it's whack. Yeah, they don't give you the right feelings as you would think as a b-boy or b-girl, that type of breaking feel. So that's what I felt. I'm like,
I totally get it.
I'm like, oh dude, this is like, was this even the concept or the meaning of that viral? Yeah, they'll make you the clips, but then it's like, I can't use this. It'll just give you some views, and oh yeah, it's kind of just, you just threw it into you just post it just cause, and what's the substance out of it. So I try to make it more meaningful, totally the value of it, right? So
that's because you care, you care about
because I care too. Yeah,
but I'll give you some insight, that I've gotten, which is very valuable over time. I got this from a lot of artists, a lot of people who just done the big things, and it's just crazy. And I've seen it so many different times. Is when it comes to anything, whether it's like products, art, anything you kind of produce, you know what I'm saying? It could be a speech, it could be like a catchphrase, it could be anything, right? But let's say clothes, right? So like let's say clothes and compare it to podcasts, right? Or reels, right? Okay. For some reason in this world, the things that you think are the wackest shit, like you're just like, this is horrible. Like terrible. Like let's say a hat, right? This hat is terrible, right? It hits fucking crazy, dude. Like you put it out in the market and people fucking love it. Like it's just amazing, right? And then shit that you're just like, you nitpick it, like you break it down to like this, and you're so concise, and you're like, okay, this is the best I've ever done. This is my best work, whatever. You put it out, no one gives a fuck. So it's
right.
So the point is,
I feel you.
Sometimes it's best to just put out things and like kind of like throwing flies in the wall, you know what I'm saying, or throwing darts in the wall, like when you're starting. Even when you're feeling stuck, like if you're feeling stuck, like, man, I don't have any really good ideas, you know, like I don't think just come out with something, because you never know what's gonna hit. And I've seen so many videos where someone posted it like a year ago, and then all of a sudden somebody repost it, and then it hits like wildfire, and then you'll talk to the person and they're like, bro, I don't even remember doing that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So keep that in mind, like, you know, like anytime you get kind of stuck and you're like, just test it. Like, you know what split tests are?
Split tests, no.
Do you know what split tests are in marketing?
I don't know what that means.
So basically, when you split test something, let's say we're trying to sell that microphone, right? Like the microphone that you have right there, right? We're trying to sell it online. What we'll do is we'll do two different ads. So like, let's say one picture will be me in front of the mic, and then another picture will be you in front of the mic. And it'll be like, it'll say like, this mic, sure for $7.99, get it today, limited time offer. And then the one with me, it says, sure mic, the best mic in the industry. We'll put both of those ads out at the same time and put some money against it. So like, let's say we put like $100 on each ad, so it hits the certain amount of people, and then we see which one converts more. And then whichever one converts more, that's the one we put even more money into. So we're split testing it. So we could split test 4, 5, 6 different ways. And so like when you do it in marketing, so let's say you have a budget of like $1,000, right? And like, so you don't want to put the $1,000 into one ad. You put $1,000 into 10 ads, right? And so whichever one hits, then you put even more. Now you put, like, let's say you're going to spend $1 million, right? You do 10 different split tests for $100,000 each, or 10,000 each, and then whichever one hits, then you put the 900 in the one that hits, because it's telling you, okay, people are fucking with this one, so you're a lot smarter with how you test it. So like when you put out something, you can put out multiple things of the same thing and see what people react to. And it's called split testing.
Okay.
So it's very good in marketing and just selling shit.
I heard YouTube. I don't know if it does. I remember I saw a thing. It said YouTube does that with like thumbnails. They have like a built-in algorithm.
Yep, with thumbnails. They do it with thumbnails. Like that.
Oh, they do. Yeah. Okay.
YouTube Buddy or something.
I'm not too sure. I remember
split testing in marketing. Split testing is the way to go to like make your money farther, because like I said, whatever you might think is the greatest, like whatever, the market might not feel that way.
Yeah.
And then the stupidest, it's crazy, dude. You're gonna have this one time in your life where like you just were like, this is stupid, right? You're gonna tell your wife like, this is the dumbest shit ever, and then it comes out and it's like your biggest hit. You're like, wow, dude, like the fuck,
and then
you
it
know,
just
like
hits, and you're like, what?
Yeah, you're just like, this is like wildfire, like one piece of content that you put it on a Tuesday, and like you're like, shit, this shit like work.
Yeah.
Anyway, but now we're at where we're at, and like it's cool. Everything's cool.
Cool. One last question. I think I'm gonna slowly wrap it up here, but content creating always goes a long way, not just in breaking, but I mean worldwide, anything, right? That is the marketing, free marketing, and that's where everyone's on right now. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms.
And it's free. That's one thing people don't realize. All this is free.
Yeah, it's free. And what do you see down the road with content creating within Break? Just keep flowing with it. I know you mentioned battle clips, but you like more engaging with the audience. You like more battle reports type of deal. Were you always like that in the beginning? Because I remember I saw some older clips on YouTube. You were interviewing a couple Cross One and some other cats, you know. Were you always interested in that type of stuff?
The main thing was getting the stories out from like a wide variety of people, so that people can watch it and make their own decision. So like so the history is from the actual people who are there, right? And then keep it so that it's such a broad amount of b-boys. Like I have right now, bro, I have like 40 interviews of like the top b-boys that I've been waiting to release, but I didn't want to push them. Like I've been filming the last 2 to 3 years on tons of content. Like, so I'm sitting on all these interviews that I didn't want to come out with because it was like there's no audience. You know what I'm saying? But now with a big audience, now not only can I come out with them, but when I give it to the person, they're going to promote it pretty hard because now they kind of want to show. It's like if I did an interview with you last year and I came out with it last year, you would have pushed it a little bit. You'd have been like, okay, great. Just because hey, can you put this on your Instagram? You know what I'm saying? But now if I give you an interview that's well done, you're going to be like, this is a dope interview. And you're going to have all your friends share it. And it's just going to push more because now it's like at the right time. Does that make sense? So when I started this channel, I was more like, okay, I want to do content for just interviews and information, right? And then I'll get into like like kind of like what the like event coverage, like get a team there to cover the event. You know what I mean? Like just to like do a report on the event. The live streaming was another thing that I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But to answer your question, I see just more substance. Like people need to be creative with how they're coming out. Like, so we have a lot of interesting people in our scene. So people could come out with vlogs, just their lifestyle, like how they practice, how they think. I think live streaming for practices is going to be a big thing. Maybe in the future where crews are like literally live streaming their practice and then they're charging subscription for people just to watch and you can just sit there and watch. Like same way you watch an e-girl fucking be in a pool and like eat chocolate, like you're just gonna watch breaking, like it'll be a background thing. So I see that, but I just see more like substance, things that people can like digest other than just a clip after clip after clip, because like all these crazy air flares is cool, but like when you start seeing it just everywhere, it kind of like loses its value. You're like, this isn't that amazing. Like my whole thing is like now we're at a point of beyond amazing, because you could do the most craziest set and people are just like,
right? Because you've seen
good job. So you have to like disappear, throw fireballs and shit, and to get props nowadays.
Dang, that's dope, man. Cool, man. Do you have any questions for me at all?
Yeah. So what do you like? Speak it into existence. Like, what do you want to see into the future with the whole scene and after this Olympics things? Like, what do you kind of foresee is gonna happen, and then what do you kind of want to happen?
Yeah. So a little bit before the Olympics, I was saying it was like if this was an opportunity 10 years ago, it maybe would have been something that I could have pursued more harder and deeper, just because, with family, getting a job, supporting the family, stuff like that. At that time, it wasn't coming with revenue and funds. They didn't see, family members didn't see the value of it, right? But I always love it. It's a passion for me. And so that's why I've been off it on. And I think the ability now, it's in the Olympics, well, at least Paris Olympics, and hopefully we have another opportunity to be in the Olympics again. I think it's just more strive to the general audience and people to see it more valuable, more the respect it should deserve. Like, oh, wow, this is an Olympic sport. Maybe I should take it more serious now than just fun, hobby. I mean, that's a great time, right? Practicing with homies, people hanging out with that's always fun. But take it to another level. I mean, just like loving it and doing it as a career. It seems more sustainable. This
now you got money. Now you got money coming in for your passion.
Yeah, and definitely. And as I'm getting older, getting back in the scene, I want to do more travel and battles. I was like, hey, while I do this, I want to do content as well. And so that's where I kind of came up with the podcast. I wanted to do more content, kind of explore other people's minds that like I seen on videos, or people like that I met. For example, I met Phil Wizard before where he's at today, like literally probably 12 years ago in Seattle, Washington, right? There was a crew battle,
and he did a great job representing the gold medal winner. He did fantastic. All his press was fantastic.
Yeah, he did for sure. And that I take kind of inspiration of that too. And be like, wow, there's somebody that I seen that kept going when at the time when I was really active, right? But then that's when my off and on bounced, and I was like, oh, that to see someone, it's very inspiring just to see in person versus like, oh, I don't know this person, great job, but then to seeing it live, that comes into the existence. You're like, oh wow, this can actually happen. Like itself. That and with content, man, I just really, I love the scene. I definitely want to get more involved. I've thrown jams in the past. I definitely want to throw more jams out here in Portland, Oregon. Bring back the scene to make it more active. But definitely takes time to build that and something more sustainable.
Awesome.
So
yeah, and just push through. You just got to push through. Like everyone's just got to contribute to like what it could be the littlest thing, bro. Because like even teaching a kid. Just one kid, you never know, that kid might be an Olympic champion. You know what I mean? So like the things you're doing is great because there is an industry of YouTubers now where it's like it's a viable, like some people have made millions. Like if you look at Mr. Beast, like the path is there, right? So for you to kind of like turn this into a career, yet right now it's just it's like it's like we're pirates. Like we're just trying to find the treasure, but we don't know where. We're just all going everywhere. Like where could we go? We know this is good. So I think over time, just the people who stay consistent and just the opportunities will come. And you just gotta be kind of ready. Like you gotta like get yourself ready so when the opportunity comes, you can take advantage of it. But like a lot of the times with stuff like passion projects, it just takes a toll on you, especially when it costs money. It's not working out like you want it to work. If you have, it sounds like you probably have a good support system with your family, but when you have a bad support system, like you have people like, why are you doing that still? Like it's not working. Right. Didn't you see the Olympics? Like that thing is like dead. The thing is dead. Like when you have people speaking like that in your ear, that's very, very, disheartening. But if you look at anybody who did anything great, like the founder, McDonald's, like Ray Kroc, Steve Jobs, like anybody who did major UFC with Dana White, all the problems that they had to go through massive, like Disney, dude, bankrupt 4 companies, bro. Like if you look at the story of the people who built some of the biggest companies, they had so many obstacles, so many like negative, so many naysayers to kind of get to where they need to get to. That's why only a few can do it. You know what I mean? Because you don't do it. And there's enough room for all of us, bro. If you had 1 million subscribers right now, let's say you had 10 million subscribers right now, does that mean I can't get 10 million? No, I can get 20 million.
Yeah,
I can have 1 million. Once you get to probably 500,000 subscribers, you can make some revenue just off reselling shit, like just affiliate marketing on your channel.
Oh right, you know affiliate marketing. Yep, little AdSense.
Just selling stuff like like the hat you're wearing, the mic you're wearing. You just have a link on your channel, like, hey, you guys like my mic? Like it's hit this link, buy it for $30, and then you get a commission on that. So there's all these business models you can go after. So you just got to kind of keep going. Stay around positive people like that speak life in you, and you can get there. And it's the path, but like for all of us in the breaking like scene, this is all new water. Like sure. Smurf was kind of one of the originators to do like a lot. Smurf like the one that kind of got me inspired. I was like, damn, I gotta start fucking podcasting because I like talking and I got really good information. But like there needs to be more of us. Like do you speak any other languages?
No, I speak broken Cambodian.
So like even like
when I was younger, but yeah.
Use some of your content, bro. Use these apps to make them in multi-language.
Right.
Like are you Cambodian?
Gosh, was that? Yeah, family's Cambodian. I'm Chinese.
Well, you use CapCut, so make your video and have it edited in Chinese, so it's captioned in Chinese.
Yeah,
it's captioned in
Cambodian. I messed with one of those on Mad Action, Rock Force Crew.
Yeah.
So I did a podcast with them, and I created a short, and I created one of us speaking in Japanese, and I was like, hey, you want me to post this in Japanese? And he's like, he said nah, so I didn't post it, but it was interesting, to have it into that language, and then the text wasn't. I don't know how accurate it was, but I was like,
that's one of the things that you probably wanted. You definitely want to put a disclaimer and say like this edit was made with AI, so like apologize for any spelling errors. Like, and then if you want to help us, please email us if you speak this language. But like all that's important because, dude, we have a market that doesn't just speak English, dude. There's a huge Chinese market. There's a huge Japanese market. There's a huge Russian market, and they're not speaking English for any reason that they don't like America. It's just they just don't speak English. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So
for sure,
you want to go to where your customers are. So if there's customers in Russia willing to watch your content, and the key is to just put it in their language, just do it and see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if you get a big hit, like wow, like one year like podcast, like even this, let's like if you get a reel and it's like a pretty good reel, like. It's like the split testing, right? So let's say, for example, we have a thing here. You make a cool reel, and it starts getting good numbers, right? Like within a day, it's at like 5,000, 10,000. It's like, hey, okay, now make the Spanish version.
Yeah.
And then okay, now do the Spanish one. It's the same video, just now it has Spanish captions, right? And it's like, okay, that one does. Okay, let me make the Japanese one. Okay, let me do the Chinese one. You know what I mean?
Give me an idea. Keep it very simple, like you're saying, all the different languages. Just say like, hey,
and keep it real simple.
Breakdance in the Olympics. Oh, in English. Now say it in Japanese, and you flip it and multi-language all of it. It'll be kind of interesting.
And you open up a whole new world. Like bro, like Kareem is getting funding from the Indian government, from India.
Bboy Kareem,
and the market over there is huge. Bboy Kareem, yeah, and they're like giving money to the whole like school out there. Like it's crazy when he told me about it. Like, damn, it's crazy. And dude, India. India is, if you look at world economics, like they're saying India is like gonna almost be as far as GDP
coming up
as far as big as America. It's almost getting close to there, But they have super cheap labor too, and like, anyways, like it's just a big market. So like we can kind of wrap it up. Like guys, have you ever heard a story called Acres Full of Diamonds?
No.
You ever read that book? Okay, well, basically, it's a great book, and it talks about how, like, the diamonds that you want may be closer than you think. So I want to put 2 points with this, right? So the story is, if you guys want to read the book, it's a great book. But what it is a guy had a little piece of land, or a big piece of land, right? And then his neighbor had a piece of land, too. His neighbor went off on an exhibition out somewhere in the world, right? And came back and said, oh, I found a bunch of diamonds wherever he went. Let's say he went to, like, Canada, right? And he found a bunch of diamonds, and then he sold his plot, and then he moved over there to like excavate more of them, right? And then the neighbor was like, damn, that's crazy, I want to get some diamonds. So what he did was he sold his property and went on like a world tour to go find another diamond mine, right? What happened was the land that he owned, the guy who bought it digged up, and it was full of diamonds. So the guy sold his his land to find diamonds when the diamonds were actually in his actual land, right? So the point of that story is like sometimes your diamonds are closer than you think. You don't have to look outside for them. You know what I mean? Like they're right there and they're in your own city, right? So that's one point. The second point is sometimes the opportunity is in another city. Like for these dancers, if it doesn't pop off in America and it's cracking in China and Japan, there's opportunities to teach, do workshops. You can live a better life for your family. You know what I mean? You can go from America making like $30,000-$40,000 a year in dancing minus taxes, so you're making like $20,000 a year, to going to Japan and making $150,000. If the opportunity's over there, go over there. You know what I'm saying? Like that just do what you need to do where the opportunity's at. If you're like saying like, but I'm from New York. Like, I want the opportunity to happen here. Sorry, bro. Like, that's just not how the fucking world works. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to do workshops and you want to teach and you want to battle and the market in Japan is where it's at, go to Japan, bro. Sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Or you can build the market in your city, but that's a whole nother beast. Like, now you're not even competing anymore. Now you're the brain behind it. You know what I'm saying? But so those 2 points. Sometimes what you want is closer than you think, and then 2, if the opportunity's not where you're at, move. Just go somewhere else and see where it's at, because then you can always come back. You know,
Yeah,
and
most
what's great about
definitely.
this podcast, what's great about like the internet is you can be wherever you're at and be everywhere at
Yeah.
the same time.
Oh
You don't
yeah,
have to like
100%.
if you're in Oregon and your family's in Oregon, you don't have to move to LA to podcast.
Exactly. Yep. You're worldwide. You're remote. You could be anywhere, as long as there's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Or internet.
Yeah, no, exactly. As long as there's Wi-Fi, you know, there's, and I think that's the hold on, that's the future of a lot of entrepreneurs with AI, bro. We're gonna have like the next 10 years, we're gonna
Yeah.
have people who have companies, one person owning a corporation where they have a ton of AI employees. Like their whole staff is AI. Their assistant, their marketing, their sales, their distribution, their human resource. Like there's no human resources. It's just AI, and these
Yeah.
people are just remotely working. Like they live in Bali, and the dude has a $500 million company, and he just works it off of his laptop.
Yeah, I believe it.
You know, so
I believe it. If you ever mess around with ChatGPT, that thing, it's crazy.
yeah, no, dude, it's crazy. A lot of the stuff I'm writing is on ChatGPT, and I'm just like, dude, like I've been working on grants, just to like mess with it because there's so much money out there. If you look for it, like if you look, it's Matthew 7. If knock and the door will be open unto you, look and ye shall find. So that is straight from, I don't know how religious anyone is here, but just it's from the Bible. It's very true. If you go out and look for it, you're gonna find it. But sometimes you might not find exactly what you're looking for, but it's still there. So it's like kind of like when you want, like when you ask for like income, you get patience. You know what I mean? Like you ask for something, it might not come in the package you want. So you'll be like, I want to make $1 million today, right? Cash, right? I want to make $1 million cash. How can I do that, right? And then the universe puts a building in front of you, that abandoned building, where if you can put it under contract and sell it to this person, you can make that $1 million. But it's like you're wanting $1 million cash. Like I want it in a bag. I want to win the lotto. Like I want to win the lotto cash. But the opportunity is like, look, you can sell that building and make that $1 million cash. You know what I'm saying? Or like, okay, I want to start a clothing line. And then you get an ad for like, hey, designs, go to Fiverr, designers available. So a lot of the time, like this is a quote, it's a great quote. Like a lot of the things that you want are disguised in the work you need to do.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So like, a lot of people, they want the million, they want the result, but they don't want to do the work. And you can't do it's like the seed. Like you need to plant the seed and cultivate it into a tree to reap the fruit. You can't get the fruit before you plant the seed. And, for people hopefully that are listening, I want to put that in there. If you do the work, you're going to get the result. And even then, the result might not be like how you want. So you got to keep going until you get your garden of whatever you want.
No, that's dope, dude. That's life lesson stuff. Those riddle things, or like those quotes. It's real. That stuff, disguised as.
Not totally, bro. Just even
it's
even
damn,
what makes things grow in nature, bro. Shit makes things grow, bro. So like this is the shit storm we're in, and it's gonna help us grow. Like so, you either can be like, oh, this is whack, blah blah blah, whatever your mindset is, bro, or you could be like, nah, man, I'm gonna keep going. This is motivating me. Like for me, literally, bro, like the kangaroo. I'm gonna start doing like bicycle kicks with my abs just to get my abs because I'm so mad about like the kangaroo thing. Like I'm just gonna do the kangaroo every day just as like I'm gonna use that as my mental like fucking ignition to be like fuck it. I'm gonna do 100 fucking bicycles right now. God, like and until I get my abs tighter. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm using that as motivation. So guys, what is your motivation? Speaking out to the world, what is your motivation? What is your why on why you want to do all that? And if you can find out your why, and that why is bigger than the problems and the work, you're going to get what you want. But when the work, like your why can't push you through, it's going to be very difficult for you to get through.
Damn. Bro, that's what's up.
Dropping Mars.
Yeah, no, that's straight up real life. That's really knowledgeable stuff. And I think everyone that's listening to this definitely try to apply those knowledge into your own ability of what you see and want.
Yeah,
and
just so for reference, like all this, I've had great mentors. I've done the work as far as looking for the people to teach me, but also I've been a student where I've had great mentors. So like a lot of the knowledge I'm spitting, it's not like I'm a fucking mega genius. Like I've just gotten it from amazing people. Like the quote of like, the reason I'm here is because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. And I've had like mentors who've given me so much great information, and like they showed me the path. But like one of my mentors, like they told me like, hey, I could teach you how to do the perfect push-up, but you need to do the push-up. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, you're right. You know, like I could open the door for you, but you need to walk through. Yeah. Right. And it might not look how you want it to look. So like, we'll end with this, like this tidal wave of information that has, or this tidal wave of like media that has hit breaking. Right? Learn how to ride the wave, not just critique it. Because if you're just critiquing it, it's gonna crash on you, and you're not gonna take advantage of it. So when a wave comes, just ride the wave. Just figure it out. Ride the wave. Don't worry about it's not the right wave. I gotta wait for the next one. Will there ever be a next one? Like
right? Yeah.
Like this might be the only push for for breaking till for another decade, bro.
Yep, exactly. So, be in the moment.
When there's opportunity, just take it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, definitely. If it doesn't work out, you can always go back. So, hell yeah, bro.
All right, and then anything else you want to talk about? I got like 5 minutes.
Yeah. A little bit off screen if it's cool. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Check out Friction at Break Street Media.
Break Street Media.
Break Street Media.
Break Street.
You're all social media. You're
or Break Street on YouTube,
Instagram.
It's pretty much Break Street, but Break Street Media for YouTube, Instagram, and I'm sorry. YouTube is Break Street, just straight Break Street, one word, and then Instagram and TikTok is Break Street Media.
Dope, man. You drop a lot of knowledge. Friction.
Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
West Coast Rockers Killafornia. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, dude. Such a blessing. You dropped some mad knowledge, and let's see where breaking takes us.
It's gonna be exciting, bro. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you till the next one. Peace.
Many of us growing up, we suppress it because of families or, we suppress that voice. We go into these schools, they suppress us, and hip hop is like, hell nah.
You realize that you can do that with almost anybody in different communities. There's a really important part to maturity of yourself, and to have breaking be the vehicle for that is, in my case especially, immeasurable.